Welcome to Real Flix Reviews. We're like a book club for people hate reading. This month they're doing sci-fi, so Ryan picked the movie Children of Men. We bring you movie news. This week we have Jonathan Charney, James Stevens, Ryan Preston.
And the old guy is still here.
In 2027, in a chaotic world in which women have become somehow infertile, a former activist agrees to transport a miraculous pregnant woman to a sanctuary at sea.
You know, I saw this movie in the theaters, and all of a sudden I realized I didn't recognize the name, and as soon as the movie started, I went, "Oh, it's this movie."
Yeah, I've seen this movie at least twice before.
Yeah, and I actually kind of liked it.
The black guy who played Luke, every movie I've seen him in, he's always kind of an asshole.
Oh,
You thought he was an asshole in Serenity?
Huh?
You thought he was an asshole in Serenity?
Yeah.
He wasn't an asshole. He was a nice guy.
He was kind of a nice guy.
Yeah. I mean, totally a nice guy.
No, he was kind of an ass. Come on.
No, he was a nice guy. He just was on the wrong side.
But there's very little that Clive Owen has done that I don't like, though.
Good point.
he is in all kinds of stuff. When you look him up and you see what he's done, you kind of go, "Wow."
Yeah, he's got 66 films to his name. One of my favorite ones is Shoot 'Em Up.
Yes.
And I mean, it's everything
Yeah.
that you need to know about the movie is in the title.
That's about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the simplicity of that. But literally looking at the things that he's done, there's very little that he has done that I really don't like, that I won't watch again at some point.
He seems to be able to pick good movies to be in.
Yeah.
But let's let us not digress.
I bet I could pick a movie you'd never watch him in is that Pink Panther in 2006.
Yes.
Well, okay,
that
you
is
got
one of the
one.
things on my list that I don't like.
No, I wanted to
with you on
find.
that.
I hate you, Steve Martin. Go away.
Ooh.
I said that.
a little
I'll say it
testing
again
or two.
too. I hate you, Steve Martin. Go away. Anyways, but back to this film.
Steve's calling.
I'll kill him.
Okay.
Oh, he hung up. I
I
guess.
heard you say that.
The line went dead.
He's an anti-gun liberal, so of course, as soon as you said that, he ran.
But I gotta say, for this film, it's a very simplistic story, and I gotta say they made it longer than I felt it was necessary, and they bogged it down in a few parts. But the one thing I gotta say that I enjoy about this film, and I've enjoyed it every time I've watched it. No, there's little hints and things in the beginning that if you pay attention to, you see it basically in continuity throughout the entire film. There's little things like the box with a Q on it.
Mm-hmm.
You see that. You see ads for it. You see I can't think of the guy's name right now. His friend, the old guy,
Michael Caine.
Thank you, Michael Caine.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, why couldn't I remember his name? Anyway,
Somebody just said it.
You saw the box
Did
in
you
his
cough?
house.
Did you cough? Did it taste like strawberry?
That was amusing too. And then the dog thing that they were doing, and then they have a dog that looks like it.
Yeah.
That was barking outside of that when they got into the refugee camp. In one of the houses, they got a dog that looked exactly like it. So there's little things like that are fun in this film.
And the other thing,
Which is hard to say fun in this film in the same sentence.
I love the atmosphere they presented, even like James said, in subtle stuff. There's a comment about the government is handing out suicide kits and antidepressants with food, but weed is still illegal. The stuff like that, I love subtle jabs and subtle parts to really add to the environment of the movie.
Yeah, Ryan had a point though.
A few.
There are things to talk about.
I agree totally with John. I love the stylistic choices. I'm a huge fan of the dystopian future sort of vibe.
As long as you don't live there.
Like James said, it's kind of a simple story. It's a simple through line. The baby being the magical briefcase. But
you get to see it.
But it's such a complicated world that doesn't get bogged down in the explanation of the complications of the world.
Yes, true.
It says things like they mention sort of in passing about these tragedies in New York and then in Spain.
Right.
And you as an audience member are like, oh, I wonder what happened. But they don't waste 20 minutes explaining
telling you, right?
those kinds of things.
I love that because that was a total throwaway line that added to.
Right. And a lot of these movies, what you'll end up seeing is some version of the Star Wars scroll in the beginning. This 10-paragraph thing of what everything has become.
What happened, right?
Thank you for that, Lucas.
And this movie doesn't get involved in that. It just lets you sort of witness everything.
Yes.
And I like that style of filmmaking, and it almost struck me as like a documentary style, the way the steady cam sort of following him around.
That wasn't a very steady cam.
So good.
No, and the other thing is the tone quality of the whole movie was basically the same all the way through.
Yes, and very little music.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering if, was that done on purpose? Was your budget not big enough?
I mean, for the quality of numbers?
Yeah, I mean...
I think the music choice, I thought was, for lack of music, I thought was perfect, because it highlights the sparse and barrenness of the world. I don't think you needed to highlight anything with music, because I actually think it would have taken away from the visuals if you had some sort of crescendo.
I was actually talking more about the cinematography of it.
Yes, the cinematography was very... I actually kind of want to say bland.
Yeah.
But it fits the film.
It does. I'm not saying it was wrong. It was just very interesting.
No, I'm not saying... Brian, I'm not saying it wasn't perfect for this film. What I'm saying is that the choice they went with was not very bright, colorful.
Right.
It had kind of an
surreal.
It kind of had like an indie feel to the way it was shot a little bit, which I really liked in this.
Yeah, indie, but the world, like if you're paying attention to it from sort of a producerial standpoint, it looks so expensive to be able to put that together. But then you film it like it's such a low budget movie. It's kind of this. You feel like it actually exists a little bit more, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying about the cinema, the color scheme, or if that's what you want to use for it. It was very kind of gray, hazy,
right?
Almost, and it just really fit with what they were trying to do, and it went very well with it.
It totally reminds me of a Pink Floyd music video, though.
Well,
especially with the pig flying. God, I love that.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
I do love. I love the way that Julianne Moore went.
Yeah,
it was so quick and unexpected. Just as you said, right there.
But it wasn't anticlimactic either.
But
they introduced the character.
It was a very good death scene, I gotta say, though.
Yeah.
For this type of film to have a death scene like that was very well. I didn't think Michael Caine's death scene went as well, but they weren't trying to have it go as well. It was more of a torture kind of information type of...
I actually thought his death scene, I thought it was a little, not quirky, but a little blotchy. I don't know, something about that just did not seem to flow very well.
Well, but see, I think, personally, I disagree with you on that. I think it's the other way. The guy was a quirky, kind of crazy guy anyway, and I actually think that he played that scene absolutely perfect. He was acting like the crazy stoner that he was.
Yeah,
I had read that he had based his character on John Lennon.
Yeah.
Which I thought was really, really interesting, because he's not doing a John Lennon impersonation, but it's sort of his interpretation of what a John Lennon character would be like in that world.
So does that mean the chick in the wheelchair was Yoko Ono?
That would have been fine with me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was alone.
But I agree with Rob, though, in as much as that I think his character would do that. If you notice his sort of when it's panning through his house, kind of going like by his awards and magazine covers and things, you could sort of tell from there that he was like a political satirist, cartoonist guy. Mm-hmm. So it sort of stands to reason that would be his last little, F you, pull my finger.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, I'll pull my own finger.
Right. No, I liked it. I thought it was good, but I thought it was... We lost Ronnie. More of kind of like a torture thing that they were drawing it out.
Yeah, right.
And did you guys enjoy Charlie Hunnam, Jax from Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah. You see his face maybe turn towards the camera once.
Yep.
Other than his voice, I mean, unless you just finished watching Sons of Anarchy, you almost wouldn't recognize him.
Yeah, he kind of blended in. I didn't actually see
it. Was really well done on that. I thought his character was really good, but it was so short
It was so memorable though for such a
Which one was he?
The dreadlock guy, the white dreadlock guy,
the guy that died, like running into the.
Didn't they all?
Into the hay bale, or
no, he didn't die running in the hay bale.
Shot.
He got shot. He got shot in the Ryan's saying, but the building.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
I wanted the other thing that I liked in this movie that really stood out was the politics. I loved you had the bad guy, which was the state, and you had the fish or the movement or whatever it was called, and how they were equally as evil. Because they wanted to use this unborn child as, like a figurehead. Like, look what we did. I loved the how they showed that of, that there's really no good side except for individual people. I thought that was really well done.
It's very interesting that they took the
least.
stance that any immigrant into the country, you're out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're either born here or you're not here. And and that's kind of like, whoa.
It seemed kind of it was based on a novel, which by the way, I love. The only thing that they changed for this movie, the only major thing was it was the women's fault, not the men's.
Oh.
In the book, it was men that were infertile and not women. So I thought it was sort of odd that they changed that. What was the point? Anyway,
well, it was mute, really. Didn't matter.
It was based on a book. And I completely lost my train of thought of where I was going to go.
Obviously.
Well, there was. I'll say real quick. There was another movie in the 80s, 90ish that had a similar theme about how people were infertile, and then there was one woman. So this, who they had to rescue. So this definitely isn't a new theme in the movies.
Doesn't it play out better that you've got this one pregnant woman instead of this one guy that's fertile?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it does play. I mean, obviously, the fertile dude would have to get the woman pregnant. Anyway, I remember I was going to say the book, since it was such a powerful novel. I mean, it was kind of the indictment of not just the political structure, but kind of the de-evolution of human beings, sort of in these kinds of situations, and how we react to that kind of adversity. The headlines that were going through in the beginning and sort of throughout the movie were, suicides are up and, going crazy, and everybody's just kind of rioting in the streets. And it seemed not to be pulling any punches with the citizens as well, as the government side of it.
Right.
So that was interesting.
Yep. I was going to say, the other thing I really liked was how violent this movie is. The main character wasn't violent.
Yeah.
Never touched a gun.
Which I thought was amazing. He did a couple of things defending, like would open the door on people, punched a few people, but that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he never touched a gun. I think the most he did was smash the guy's head with a big rock, but
a couple of times.
Yeah, he always did manage to lose shoes, though.
Yeah, that was one of the things that bothered me about the guy was that he wasn't going for guns in situations.
But that fits with his
where
character.
it could have worked.
Like this sort of pacifist.
He's an activist.
Political activist guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I really liked the fact they kept the character the same from the beginning and the end. Didn't have this I've got to defend myself, revelation in the middle of it.
Yeah.
That was really cool. Yeah.
The director of this film, it explains a lot about his knowing things that he's done in the past. Alfonso, I'm not even going to bother with his last name, but he is known for Gravity as the director, and also Harry Potter, Prisoner of Azkaban. He's got a lot of different things.
Y Tu Mamá También was sort of his breakout one back in.
Yeah, and that's one I didn't really like.
It was beautiful as far as the visual is concerned. The story was just a little.
The story was dumb.
Can't like everything.
The one that he's really known for is Gravity, and looking at that film and this one, the style and the way that he did it is very similar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a big fan of those real long, blended sort of shots that kind of really capture your attention.
Yeah, they get your attention, but I think his Steadicam work needs to be steadier. There's a few times that he's in the car and kind of panning from the driver all the way to the back, and it's like gets back to Clive and the girl, and it was kind of still a little shaky at moments. So that kind of bothers me.
complicated shot, though.
It does.
I appreciated that one a lot.
But it takes me
it would
out
be a
of
tough
it.
shot.
I really kind of liked the
It takes me
little
out
bit
of
of
it, though.
shakiness to it. It wasn't like hardcore, like not obnoxious shaky cam.
I'm just
I
waiting
really
for
liked
you.
it.
Went over a bump. I didn't go over no bump.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You shot him in the face. Now, I had to give Ryan a little help on
What
where I
did
was
you
going.
do that for?
I love the fact you had to help him with that.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Anyway, but that's kind of what it makes me think of. It's like, come on, I like a little bit more smoother with the visuals on some things.
And
I understand the complications of it and the difficulty of it, but they've got more stuff these days. Spend another $10. Go for the steadier one.
I do
Well,
love
this was made a few years ago.
I do love the Snake Plissken part of having to break into a prison to be free.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's, meh.
I thought it was funny, or kind of like really, that was the only thing that I was kind of like, eh.
The thing that I never really...
Hello?
Sorry.
Does it work?
Sorry. No.
All right. Anyway, you're John Cole tonight, aren't you?
Yeah.
Made it work.
Rob got you. Anyway, I never really liked Clive's death scene, though. In the middle of the boat. It always felt like it was kind of a letdown.
Well, in one way, it
Really,
was sad
it
to
was.
see him, after all of that, it was sad
Yeah.
to see him die. But, of course, you have to have an ending like that.
I think one of those planes should just bomb the boat. If you're going to go that route, just destroy everything. Ruin
Yeah,
the
I'm sure
entire
they're-
damn movie.
That boat at 700 miles an hour.
Hey, if they can hit it, they deserve it.
They just need a bouncing bomb.
I thought it was lacking.
His death
I
scene,
was
it just
kinda
it kind of left me
So that was
going.
the other way.
It kind of left me going, because the way he died, I didn't really care about his death, so it didn't really make me go, oh, that's a bummer. It was like, well, at least she got where she needed to
Well,
go.
but see, I looked
Yeah.
at it the
That's my
other way.
problem.
I mean, one is he did everything it took to get her to that buoy. And, even though he was shot and wounded and died, he made sure that he got her there.
Yeah.
Twisted his ankle or broke it or
Oh, yeah, I
something.
mean, the poor guy was beat to hell, and now we find out he was also mortally wounded as well.
Right.
And, and then in the timing that ship had to be there and everything, I thought the way he went was perfect because he didn't appear to be in pain. He just kind of, right?
I completely agree with you, and to even add to that, like it was as if that was pretty much what he was going for. He was probably wounded a couple hours before and
Right.
bleeding out, but it's like I have to make sure that I get this lady safe. This is my entire goal. And once that was done, once he knew that she was safe, it's like, okay, now I can relax. And then he just relaxed into death.
Right, right.
Right? And did anybody else
Yeah,
think
I
in
don't
the
know.
future it was strange you could roll start cars?
Yeah, on automatic. That was weird.
The Brits
I was
must have
gonna-
something really different.
I was going to say,
don't know.
as far as
That made
British
me laugh.
cars, it just really wasn't one of those things. It wasn't like...
Like that yellow banana
I
car.
mean, yeah.
They, however, should have shown the truth of the story with a lot of oil underneath it.
Yeah. But,
Yeah, well.
I really, at that point, to see him die, it was just like... I saw it coming, I guess, is really why I just didn't really care.
Did it leave
That's
you?
Maybe,
really
I-
what it felt like to me. It's like, I've
so it
lost
left you-
interest
so-
in him.
So it
Well,
left
it was
you-
the end of the movie anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
so it kind of left you with a.
Yeah.
okay,
yeah.
so you got an for
I
10
just-
seconds
yeah.
and it was done. It moved on. So
Yeah, I was like, I honestly really felt like, okay, I want the boat to sink now. He dies, everybody else needs to die.
So, Ryan, did you think this movie was too long? Because I know James thought it was a little long. I actually thought I thought it was close to being perfect length.
I thought it was right on the money. I thought that I didn't think any of the scenes dragged on. I wasn't, like, oh, when's the next one coming along? Or I wonder what's happening with this side of the thing. It seemed to all pace really well.
I really disagree with you. I don't think the pace of it was as well as you're making it out to be. I really don't. I think it wasn't horrible. It didn't make me completely just lose interest in the movie. Like I said at the end with the death scene and the kind of like how that dragged out, I had lost interest by that point.
Well, that's
But,
sure,
yeah.
it's stupid, but
Yeah, that's cute. You always know how much I care.
And he was also right the whole time. Just let everybody see the baby.
Yeah, and I agree
Well,
with that.
yeah,
I was
absolutely.
like, let's wrap it up right there. Everybody sees the baby. Bam, you don't die. Let's move on.
And the world has hope, and things can go on, and it would have changed everything.
Rob, we were talking about pace and
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? Did you think it was too long, too short?
No, actually,
perfect?
I'm with Ryan on this thing. I agree. I think the pacing was. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the whole thing. I didn't think the movie went too short, too long. So I was good with it.
So you didn't want to commit seppuku like you did last week?
Blaster?
What was
Okay,
that?
two of you talking to me.
Repeat that?
something about Master
Did anybody
Blaster.
notice Master Blaster?
No.
Master Blaster?
Was he in there?
When they first got to the prison, there was a midget on a guy's backpack.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wait, this is Thunderdome.
I don't know if it's good or bad that I'm the only person who knew what you were talking about.
Who
I
runs
got it.
Carter Town?
I got it. I know you're pointing fingers at me. It's okay.
That was the James too. But I mean, at least with this movie, unlike last week, I didn't feel like committing Harry Carey, or needed antidepressants.
Oh, what a huge privilege it was to watch this movie.
This movie all the way through, I really liked the pacing, the coloring. I really loved kind of the bleakness of the tone quality because I thought it added to it, and it didn't do like some movies who in this kind of dystopian future there was no acid rain, no this, no that, just infertile and crappy environment, blah 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 blah.
And animals everywhere.
Yeah. So I give this a 4 out of 5. I really like this movie. James?
I'm actually I'll be the Russian guy on this one. I enjoy the movie, but the first time you see it, I say it's really great.
I could definitely see that.
Seeing it it's 3 or 4 times by now, I gotta say it's like mediocre to me now.
So what would you give it?
Give it a 3. Just meh.
Okay.
That's seriously where I'm at on it. I've seen it 3 or 4
I
times.
understand that's your opinion now, but I mean, that's what you would rate the movie if you were telling somebody like, oh, it's a 3
If I was telling something about it, I'd be like, you watch this by
seen it 6
yourself.
times?
I would tell them to watch it by themselves, enjoy it, because if I sit with you, I'm gonna be like, we're on this part again.
You would do that anyways if you'd never seen it before.
But we're not here to
telling
review a movie so somebody can see it 3
Well,
times.
I'm saying it.
What
When I see it now,
for the very
there's
first
little
time, what would you
things-
give it?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. We're not going to
Still a
put
3.
it on
Okay.
So-
yeah.
So the movie didn't get any better, didn't get any worse.
So Rob?
I'm going to give it a 4. I enjoyed the movie, and I think I've said everything I need to say.
Ryan?
4. For the story, for the visuals, it's no wonder that they hired this guy to direct something like Gravity.
And
I didn't like that movie either.
And wow, that's and we're going to switch it up right now. We're going to talk about our the TV show we're doing. We're picking a Netflix original, House of Cards, episode 1 or chapter 1 or whatever they call it.
God bless Netflix.
Yeah.
I was going to the one thing I really liked about this, the constant breaking of the fourth wall, how he would look at the audience and talk to him. It kind of had like a Zach Morris of kind
It's
of
a story.
embellish.
It's the story told through the one person's point of view.
Yeah.
It's
That's what it is.
exactly-
Kevin Spacey's, what I thought was really cool is then he'd look at the camera and make some
Zach Morris.
Yeah, some strange remark or smirk or like at the inauguration, that shows you know where you are in the power of things as closer to the present you are, and it pans away and he goes,
I thought that was amusing.
So
That
what
was
were-
amusing.
What were you saying, Ryan?
Oh, I was gonna say it's because of Saved by the Bell and the Zach Morris thing that it took me about 20-25 minutes to kind of get around that one. But once I became a fan of it, I liked it. But in the beginning, I'm like, wait a second, we just really went to timeout. So, yeah. But once the character started to kind of develop a little bit for me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna really enjoy this little gimmick,
And I loved how this started because it showed his character right off the bat. No holds barred.
Dog
boom,
killer.
This is him.
Yeah.
Dog
Yeah.
killer.
And I think that was
Dog merciful
perfect.
killer.
Yeah.
Well,
No, dog killer.
This has made me want to. I'm going to start watching the rest of the seasons now.
You could have gotten a wheelchair for him.
And this
Yeah,
was
this to
Yeah,
me,
right.
it's what we got in this episode was a glimpse at a whole bunch of moving parts, and we don't know what the machine is yet.
Yeah.
Yes, true. I kind of got a feel that it's going to kind of have more of like a... I kind of want to say like a Sopranos meets government.
West Wing.
But I don't want to get into saying it's
Sopranos
Sopranos,
meets
but I mean
West
like the
Wing.
Mafia type thing where there's like a... He's like the boss that's got a lot of little underlings.
it's government.
That's kind of
so-
what I feel.
and pretty much that's what government is. Somebody has to pay. Always has to pay the Vic.
It's legal mafia.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. I'm not arguing that. That's what I'm saying. That's kind of what I get a feel that this one's really going to be. It's going to be more a real mafia kind of thing.
Maybe with little
Like
sons
he's the
of
Don. I'm sorry to annoy you, Don.
maybe with the little sons of anarchy or the shield thrown in.
You have come to me on my daughter's wedding. I must give you any wish.
Something. Come.
And-
I may call on you to do a favor for me.
And the other line I thought really punctuated his character was when that young reporter was in his residence, and after she stripped off her shirt, her neck.
got
She
Her
figured tits would get
Yeah.
her in the door.
And his wife,
Did.
his wife's comment said, "Does that work on
Working?
anybody?" He said, "What?" And her comment was a push-up bra and a V-neck T-shirt. And his response was, "If it does, I don't know him." I love that because it shows how nothing phases him. Everything's
He was so
planned.
beyond
pre-timed.
that.
I just loved the little glimpses of his personality.
Well, his character is that it's all it's all for him. I mean, whatever it is, every angle, everything is what's in it for me.
It's the ultimate
You
game
know,
of chess.
and-
And also his wife, dude. Robin Wright is fucking
Yeah.
killing it in this thing.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's only been an episode that I've seen.
Yeah,
So she's just as much of a.
Oh yeah, what a badass in the end there, where she tells the office manager, "You got to cut the staff in half, but you can't. You're going to cut this, and it's
Yeah.
like, whoa,
What about the part when she's just like, my husband doesn't apologize, not even to me?
right,
The
right.
way she
Even to
delivered
each
that,
other, they're badasses.
And then
Yeah.
and then he goes away and breaks her fine china. So make sure you stay
I
next.
don't care.
Make sure you stay next week where we talk about episode 2 or whatever they're actually
Actually,
called.
that's what they're doing. It. They're not really giving them titles. It's like chapter 1,
Yeah.
chapter 2.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, 2.
Make sure you
Episode
stay for that.
twos.
Looking
Also-
forward to it.
Also
Deuces.
remind you that we do have a Facebook page. Please tell us, do you love us, hate us? Is there a movie you'd love us to review? Or, hey, do you want us to read your mail on air? Let us know. Also, please pause for the cause and help fund Old Guy Tech and Real Flix Reviews for a little longer, please.
One of these days, I'll make your sister happy and pick Blue Velvet.
So,
Made her happy by picking perfume, the story of a murder.
so,
That was a good movie.
Brian, you're up for movie news. Go.
Oh wait, don't I get my pick?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet.
Oh, we did
After
that
movies.
later.
Yeah.
Oh, damn! I want my pick.
Oh, no, please go ahead. Cause
No, I'm sorry. The boss said I can't. So you
Yep,
gotta go
you
do
got to
your
go
news.
first, Brian, because
I already know what it is. You want to know what it is? I'll tell you.
What is it?
He's not. I guess he's not interested anymore.
Well, he's trying to quickly get movie news.
It's
Okay, well, since Ryan's looking right now, what movie are you picking, Rob?
Well, now, are we going to change or not?
We're going to move around because
All right,
Ryan's
so-
still looking.
So while Ryan's looking at movie news, I decided we're going to watch I Am Legend. With 2007 with Will Smith. I truly enjoyed the movie. I'm looking forward to watching it again.
yeah.
Awesome.
I'm down with it. I actually kind of want to see his new film, Focus.
That might be the theater pick.
Oh,
I was
God.
thinking about it too.
If that's the case, I'm going to be skipping that one because I really dislike most
John
of
can
Will
go and
Smith's
watch
new
50
movies.
Shades of Grey. He likes
You what?
porn.
You what?
I generally dislike most of Will Smith's recent movies.
Well, okay.
We're doing one of his
Recent as in
movies.
what? 2012, 2014?
Probably last 5 years. Name a movie he's done in the last 5 years that's any good. After Earth was
I
ridiculous.
gotta pull it up. But yeah, After Earth was pretty bad.
Yeah, but that wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
No.
It was him, and yes, it was because they picked M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong to direct it. It was. So
He
Brian,
was in it for a paycheck.
Okay, well, just one thing that I thought of right now that I think happened in the middle of the week that we didn't know about last week when we did this. But Harrison Ford went and wrecked an airplane.
He did.
He crashed his World War II fighter, British, I think it was.
No,
plane.
American.
Was it American?
Yep.
What
I don't know. I
plane
only saw pictures of a
Yeah,
Millennium
it was an American trainer.
was it called the Ryan T-22?
I never heard the plane's name. Or
Well, unless they misidentified it, or I'm confusing it with another airplane. I believe it was an American 2C trainer, but that's okay. What they did get wrong is where he did crash in the golf course, but it was in Santa Monica,
Right,
not in
Penmark
Venice.
Golf-
They kept saying Venice.
Did he
And
get
I'm
a
going,
hole in one?
Did I say Venice?
No, not you, but the news. When the news reported, he crashes in Venice. And I go, where did he crash in Venice? And they said this golf course. No, there's one next to the airport in Santa Monica. So, anyway, just to correct.
Anyway, 10-mile difference.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's
10 miles in 5 hours.
weird thing that it's not his first plane crash.
Oh no.
He's apparently done this a couple of times.
He's been a pilot for maybe 30 years.
Yeah.
He first learned to fly helicopters.
Right.
And one of the reasons he did that is because he bought that huge 50,000-acre ranch in Montana, and about the only way to get from point A to point B was to fly his own helicopter.
Well, don't forget, he first crashed the Millennium Falcon.
And he did. Oh, that's true. That's funny. But he crashed a helicopter. He had a helicopter accident once as well.
Right.
So. But I
And
mean,
there was
anybody
one-
who flies. He's
and
an
there's a-
active pilot. He flies all the time.
And there's a few
And
in
he's
Indiana
walked away
Jones
from
he
every one
crashed.
of them.
There's a few in Indiana Jones he crashed.
Yeah.
Well, the dude survived a nuclear blast in a refrigerator. He's okay.
True. If you can do that, man, he's gonna. Way to go, lead-lined refrigerators.
This leaves a sick taste in my mouth thinking about that.
All right, are we good?
Say it's a
Yeah, I
rope.
think we're
say it's a
good.
rope.
We got anything? We done?
So, ladies,
I was gonna say Hancock, but that was made in 2008, so I guess that doesn't count.
ladies and gentlemen, I gave Children of Men a 4 to 5. James gave it a 3 to 5. Ryan gave it a 4 to 5. Rob gave it a 4 to 5. Next week's pick is Will Smith's I Am Legend. And as always, we'll see you next week.